Yo, parashorvins and retrogrades. I'm a little under the weather, so I'm just doing this quick video today responding to Trent Horn, who bizarrely defended many of the defenders of the my body, my choice expression, which is a defense of abortion. Of course, Trent is not a defender of abortion, but he, insofar as he attacked your body, my choice, which is a somewhat trolling but quite accurate expression used by Nick Fuentes, Trent actually defended feminism and defended the faulty intentional misinterpretations of this very, very clear inversion of my body, my choice in a short video. Let me play this. Listen to what he said.
I know Nick's defenders will claim he's just saying women shouldn't be allowed to have abortions, a play on my body, my choice. But there are a million ways he could have made that point without sounding like a rapist.
So, dig this. My body, my choice is an age-old, it's a 2 generations old expression from the 70s by feminists and witches about their right to kill their young. It's very clear. Everyone knows precisely what it refers to. My body, it's not their body. It would be their body that dies if it was their body being aborted, and therefore their choice. This is a woman's issue. This was one of the early talking points of first wave feminist Margaret Sanger. First wave feminist Margaret Sanger. I'm going to read you a quote that substantiates all this from Sanger in a second. But the point is this: there's something very, very intellectually dishonest going on with Trent Horn when he says, look, I kind of know it's about my body, my choice. Really, Trent, when you say your body, my choice, you kind of know? Or do you precisely know that this is an inversion of the lyceity claim about abortion by feminists? I think you 100% know. He said, well, it's susceptible of many interpretations. So is everything. Remember, Trent Horn is the same thought policer who said to express or to aver that Christ is king is bad because it also could be constructed in an anti-Semitic way. I am sick of this doublespeak from Trent Horn. He and I debated feminism and the patriarchy. He defended feminism and derided the patriarchy 5 years ago. Took a shellacking in our one-on-one debate. I was there in Catholic Answers studio. People were saying this is the first time they'd ever seen Trent lose the debate or lose one so badly. And he's dodged me since because I've said, look, this issue has become really, really relevant again because of my book, The Case for Patriarchy, and my work together with my wife on this. It's become really mainstream. And now younger guys, Catholic guys like Nick Fuentes are taking it up. They're doing, in my view, in my estimation, a good job, the Zoomer generation, showing how odious things like feminism, abortion, egalitarianism are, insofar as those things go. I'm not a groiper. I'm a generation above, but I will defend Fuentes insofar as he's said a lot of good stuff about it. Trolling is the way to invert the culture, not piece by piece arguments about something as obvious as killing babies being wrong. That's retarded. He and other Zoomers and some of his followers have done a really, really good job about shaming those who disagree with him. That's what those who disagree about child murder deserve. There is a response since the Donald J. Trump election of last week. It's sort of popular on social media by lefty feminist soy boys. Among that crowd, I guess the tougher soy boys are taking to TikTok and saying, if I hear someone say, your body, my choice, I'm going to kill them. This became an actual mini trend among the 5 leftist feminist males who have any muscles at all. And they say, they intentionally misconstrue, rather, your body, my choice as a promise to rape a woman. That's not what it is. That's an intentional misconstrual of what this is. Everyone understands my body, my choice means I, a woman, get to decide alone whether or not I shall slaughter my infant in the womb. Check this Margaret Sanger quotation. She's a first-wave feminist, a witch. Bill Gates' father took over Planned Parenthood from her as a high-ranking officer, I think president. He looks a lot like her, by the way. That's the private opinion of my friend Nick. He does look a lot like her, Bill Gates and his father. So there's this weird genealogy there. Sanger herself, a first-wave feminist, this was their big goal, was normalizing abortion, first-wave feminism. No woman can call herself free who does not own and control her body. No woman can call herself free until she can choose consciously whether she will or will not be a mother. First wave feminism, all about abortion, killing the young. There are tons of witches in the first wave feminist movement. There are tons of witches at the Seneca Falls Convention as far back as 1848. Elizabeth Cady Stanton and others sat at a table where there was famous rapping from the witches trying to conjure spirits. And they brought that table to the Seneca Falls Convention. Witchcraft is all about the killing and the despoiling of innocent children. They hate children. And this is always what feminism has been about. Now, I told Trent this when we debated over 5 years ago. He's dodged a second debate, and the most dishonest thing of all, even more dishonest than his attempts to misconstrue "your body, my choice," was something he said earlier in the video where he blamed the red pill, which Fuentes and the Groypers are not part of the red pill. Most of the mainstream Groypers, including Fuentes, are Catholics who decry the red pill. He claimed to say that patriarchy is a good thing and that they're giving it a bad name. For one thing, I debated Rollo Tomasi on Tim Pool's channel. I was the patriarchy advocate. He was the red pill advocate. I said, the red pill is just feminism for men. It's not as evil as feminism, but it's like feminism for men. That was very clear there when I debated Rollo Tomasi, one of the godfathers of it. And no one believes that patriarchy is synonymous with the red pill, or even with men going their own way, which is an offshoot of the red pill movement. Fuentes, who says he believes every tenet, every precept of the Catholic faith, that's his own words, he said it multiple times. I'm not his defender, a generation above, but I appreciate his advocacy for de facto patriarchy. Well, guess what? When Trent Horn says something like, implicitly, patriarchy is good, these guys are representing it, and then he tosses a crew of misrepresenters that don't even go together, like Groypers and the red pill. The odd thing is that he debated me 5 years ago about whether or not patriarchy was good and whether or not feminism was good. Patriarchy meaning power to fathers. So he, without ever admitting that he got shellacked in that debate, and I do challenge him to another debate, anytime, any day, I'll do it today. He flipped position, and essentially now it concedes victory to me, but he's never done it formally. You need to do that, gentlemen of honor. Say, look, I was wrong 5 years ago when I debated Tim Gordon, and I defended feminism and decried patriarchy. My book, The Case for Patriarchy, has turned all of this around, and now it's become commonplace and mainstream to defend patriarchy amongst Catholics, because this is what Roman Catholicism is. It's really, really commonplace. Final point, Trent Horn himself needs to admit this. He needs to either re-debate me, and he needs to admit that all of these parties who don't like feminists are not the same. He's never admitted that. He never will admit that. Trent, I await the rematch on this debate. We can do it anytime. It needs to happen. If you're ceding that patriarchy is good, it means power to fathers. And that means literally, before the voting, before the women's rights movement began, Leo the 13th says, it's Pius X says men's rights and women's rights are not the same thing. They should never be the same thing. A woman in war or parliament, he said this before women got the right to vote in America, is the ruin of society. Aristotle said that the dominion of women is tyranny. All these great Catholic fathers, great Catholic popes of the 20th century, together would say a woman's body, men's choice, because men rule society. That's what patriarchy is. Specifically, fathers need that power. Let's see what he does. It's really pathetic to go after a fellow Catholic who's saying actually Catholic things just because he trolls a bit. Peace.